Previously on Prucon, the ridiculous impersonator Jaypee began his second year in college by listening to a collection of the Wolf's unhinged voicemails.
Sir Kakko, Sir Kakko, Sir Kakko.
He discovered that his Moxie plush now doesn't sound like Moxie and wants to be called Mooks now. I don't blame him.
Let's just say, distancing myself from the show.
The impersonator then goes on an unnecessarily long tangent about 1980s arcade games that he has no business explaining. But hey, his entire gimmick is wasting your time.
Though, this is Japan now, so I should really say 100 yen coins, but
by the end of it, you can't help but feel like something is amiss, which it is, as you'll soon find out. My plan is coming along. And that's what you missed on Prucon. The apple didn't work? Yeah, I know that, genius! If you really assumed that this was my only plan, you're a real dumbass. I have something pretty special in mind. Pretty f***ing funny, too.
Huh. Hey, this whole touch grass thing really isn't such a bad idea. I don't understand why I was so apprehensive about it before. Sure, I walk to my classes every single day, but wow, the great outdoors is certainly deserving of my respect. What in the world was that?
Why are you asking me?
Well, who else am I supposed to ask? Oh crud. Oh crud, I need to get out of here.
The predecessor found out, didn't he?
that?
My ass.
What?
Now, enough chit-chat. Let's have a totally friendly and not at all romantically tense debate about how gacha life ruins society.
Were you always this hormonal?
What? You mean I stopped?
Salutations, Homo sapiens. This is not the video I ever expected to be making.
Huh? You always say, ladies and gentlemen. What is this horseradish?
No, that was... I cannot address that right now. Do not interrupt me.
Okay.
Anywho, since I'm apparently in a really awkward location, and am somehow 6 years behind where I should be, it appears that the topic of interest is going to be gacha life. Hooray, truly riveting content for you all. I could not be any more thrilled to discuss this rabbit hole, as I will so affectionately refer to it as. YouTube is quite the minefield, as you should all be familiar with by now, and one particular sector of the circle has become increasingly popular over the years. Yes, even in 2019, the world of the gacha games was relevant, as the young Sir Kakko seems to prove.
Aw, that's a cute name for me.
Stop interrupting me, you hormonal miscreant!
Nah.
Anyway, this series of games would be developed by a sir named Lucas Lee, commonly known to the world as Looney. He would release a plethora of titles before the modern gacha series took form, with the earliest game I can denote being Chiban in 2013. However, on March 19th, 2015, he would develop what I believe is the earliest release in the current format, Anime Gacha. I could get into far more detail regarding the evolution of these games and what gacha even is, but none of that is totally relevant for this video's subject. Essentially, gacha refers to gashapon, a very popular Japanese concept where you receive random trinkets in plastic containers, and this has been translated into countless different games in countless different ways. The most recent character designing game would be Gacha Life 2, released on October 10th, 2023, albeit the most commonly used is still Gacha Life 1 from October 20th, 2018. Yes, Sir Kakko, there are more releases in the years following this one.
Hot.
Stop. The 2018 game is the one that is most frequently used for YouTube content, likely since it was the most significant compared to the previous Gacha Studio and Gachaverse. To say that Sir Lee created a community would be an understatement. It's more like a cult. Perhaps the youngest cult to exist within the internet, as most creators of gacha content are under the age of 18. In 2025, most content takes the form of YouTube Shorts and specifically edits to various songs. But in 2019, long-form story-based videos were the bulk.
What are YouTube Shorts?
Oh, right, those didn't come around until 2021. Basically, YouTube became TikTok, which skyrocketed in popularity after everyone had to quarantine themselves.
Quarantine? Who did it?
It's a really long story, one that's irrelevant, so please seize this conversation and provide something useful for my audience.
Wow, you're so dismissive 6 years from now.
This fool will truly never understand. Warning! The videos showcased in this section will contain mentions of various inappropriate topics. Gacha content is known for this on the internet. Please continue watching this video at your own discretion, and no offense will be taken if there is content you cannot personally handle. When it comes down to gacha content on YouTube, there are practically infinite paths to go down. Keeping it a brief dive is a tough job, one much tougher than you may initially consider. However, since I've admittedly been wanting to delve into this for a while before I ended up here, I do have a small selection of content from my current time period to look at. Since this is supposed to be brief, why don't we start with the shortest ones first? Oh, we really are I'm not going to reveal the names of these creators because they certainly don't deserve harassment or ridicule from the public.
Hey, that's the fun part! I won't make fun of these people!
These creators did not exist in 2019, so you wouldn't even be able to if you wanted.
Are you f***ing kidding me?
Genuinely, what am I supposed to commentate on here? It's a video that, for some inexplicable reason, directly portrays child sexual abuse in Gacha Life, because this is absolutely what deserves to be platformed.
I find it particularly funny that this video tends to depend on background stock images you can find on Google. However, that's the only thing particularly humorous about this movie. The video treated such disturbing content in a way that is indefensible and gross. Taking sexual abuse of a minor and putting some Gacha Life sad story twist on it is nothing but evil and reeks of subscribe if you found it sad.
Mind you, this video is not age restricted, so anyone who should not be watching this undoubtedly will be. Sure, there's a disclaimer in the title, but when has that ever deterred the average underage viewer? Speaking of underage viewers though, just this title. Look, I am not an expert on content, but I don't think that a 14-year-old should be exposed to whatever we dare to refer to this piece of art as. At least this one is relatively short, but at the cost of being a fetish. A fart fetish at that. One certainly not ideal to expose a teenager to.
That's one thing you'll notice about a lot of Gacha content. You'll find that a lot of them are based on fetishes and personal pleasures. Makes for very uncomfortable, gross watches. Farts, golden showers, omarashis, and scats are commonplace in Gacha Life.
Is there a reason why you seem so hesitant to criticize the video itself? You're not intrigued by the concept, are you?
Jay! Hell no! I'd rather slit my wrist than to rub one to omarashis or scats.
That's quite an extreme declaration. Besides, what do you even mean when you say rub one? What exactly are you trying to say?
Masturbating. Doesn't everyone masturbate? Especially someone like you.
What on earth is that supposed to mean?
Anyway, you're cherry-picking stuff from the future. I'm sure I can show you something half decent. Take this one for example. Presently, this whole hated child thing is really common for Gacha content, and people like to approach it slightly differently each time.
Hated child? Isn't that just unnecessarily cruel?
That's the point! Well, sometimes. This one tries something else. Instead of being overly fetishy or being insensitive to extremely touchy subjects, this goes for a more contrived take. A bully story where the bullied wins in the end. Even if the movie f***ing sucks, I can actually see a very small amount of people particularly enjoying it. It's a rare case of the acquired taste, like my love for Billy right now.
That's an acquired taste? Madam O'Connell is actually extremely popular as of now. Cease! I need to stop providing hints about 2025, clearly. Anywho, this is, relatively boring. And I hate to be that gentleman, but poorly edited as well. You can see various spots throughout the video where the creator tapped the screen and took a capture at that very moment. Plus, naming your child unique is, well, it's a choice for sure. Truly masterful content creation.
Of course you'd point out such a minuscule detail that nobody actually gives a damn about.
What the hell was that voice?
Nothing.
You creep me out a lot more than your current incarnation does. And your current incarnation takes on the form of a literal wolf. Oh.
Bruh, I'm a furry now? That's pretty bizarre.
I was not supposed to mention that detail, oh crud. Ignore that, disregard it, toss it away.
Oh nah, you got me f***ed up now. Now you gotta tell me everything.
That would alter the course of history, which is something that is strictly prohibited by the laws of nature. You can't have it all, can you?
Wow, thanks for ruining my reference.
You're welcome, Sir Kakko. Anyway, let's try a much more contemporary video, one that is relevant to the lovely American audience watching this madness play out. Something like... not what I had in mind, at all. This is yet another genre, from the fetish gacha heat to the mini-movies to gacha music videos, or GMVs. These are mostly short form now, again, but there are long form ones like... yes, like this.
Joe Biden? Isn't that the guy who Obama ran with? Why is he getting it on with Trump?
I am not going to explain anything about the United States past what you know about 2019. You'll figure it out yourself. Right, I can't say I'm familiar with the track itself, and I won't even dare to attempt to make sense of the social implications of this ship, I suppose? Because shipping real people is very much a thing now.
That genuinely seagulls.
There's a high chance that this is satire, since I've spotted a handful with that stated in the title itself. At least this satire is punching up and not down.
This is extremely humorous, yet horrendously awkward to watch. At the end of the day, this is obviously satire, because no preteen in their ever-loving mind would be interested in the thought of two political entities breaking the bed. You can never make gacha life funny or watchable, even if you're making fun of it. It's still fucking gacha life. It's like if you made a joke out of your own diarrhea. No matter what you do, it's still horrid.
Right, I can't believe I'm actually working with this sir, let alone an incarnation that's over half a decade uninformed.
Excuse me, uninformed. I'll have you know that I am the most awesomest person you've ever had the pleasure of meeting. Without me, you would have no success, and I would have no friends, no career, nothing. I'd be nothing more than another statistic in the world population.
None of what you just expressed reached any logical endpoint. From your grammatical error to, what are you even talking about?
Don't play dumb. You know the story. The man created me to replace Chase. I kicked the sucker out, and I had nobody support me. I found myself alone, and then you just so happened to appear. And through you, I met many other faces. Faces who I hold very, very close to. If not for you, I would have probably sunk deeper into that isolation and fell into a silent and deep hole that's bottomless and real. You saved my life. I'm forever grateful for your existence. Who else knows me like you do? Nobody. You're my everything.
So, that's how he did it. That's why your current incarnation is so needlessly adamant. I suppose it isn't as unnecessary as I had incorrectly assumed.
Did you just break the fourth wall?
What wall? We're in a public area.
Your wall!
I genuinely cannot comprehend what you're attempting to convey.
I'm trying to convey your face!
As nonsensical as always. Well, we can at least move on to the fifth and final subject for this brief look into gacha. Let's see what I have lined up here. Oh.
You know, the previous thing I said about the other video, I was just joking around.
Well, you inadvertently predicted what I had for the finale of today's session. The fact this thing has 2.2 million views in about a year implies a lot about the status of YouTube recommendations. Yet, as hard as the premise is, the video itself isn't graphic. Just a handful of still frames and a lot of sounds. Sounds such as... yeah, I don't think the clean girl can assist in this. Are you moaning? You cannot seriously be enjoying this. Whoa! Alright, not on the blazer, please! I had an Amazon coupon! Well, I suppose that answers what your opinion on this one is. Okay, I need to end this now! Gacha Life content is certainly a sight to behold. We have gone through a select few videos, some old and many new, but this hardly scraped the surface. We didn't even get into the reaction content, partially since it's normally not too damaging, or the various other types that lurk YouTube. Overall, probably a 3 out of 13. It's hard to rank an entire community like that, but the bottom line is, keep your beloved children away. This content is not what they should be engaging with, so please feel free to play Mickey Mouse Clubhouse Plus for them instead, a series that premiered just this summer. That will be far more entertaining and, most importantly, genuinely valuable to a child's development than any of the stuff shown today. Hey, I sure wonder if I have convinced Sir Kakko of the past that you should stay away.
What the f? This whole time you made me talk about preteens that made videos disguising their fetishes. You wasted my damn precious time. I should have been making IIR right now, heretic.
Right. Do you at least understand why I need to get out of here now?
Sure, you need to go back to where you came from.
No need for the rudeness, as you are going to be there in 6 years' time.
Not this time, now that I know the future.
Can you just please press one of those buttons and figure out which one does what it's supposed to?
Fine, how about this?
That clearly did not work.
Okay, Mr. Freddy Fazbear, since when did your eyes start glowing?
I'm not going to bother explaining that. Reverse this instantly.
What if I said no? What if, since no one can see us?
HALT!
Another bench? Well, at least I'm back where I should be. Wait.